Everyone, today we are also learning how to make the fascinator, the cobweb fascinator. So we are going to be needing a few things. We're going to be needing our scissors, then we are going to be needing a cutter, we're needing wire. This is the millinery wire or the art wire. We're going to be needing a tape or your needle and your thread, anyone you feel like using. You need a measuring tape, you need your UHU gum, then you need a ribbon or a bias. I'm using this for this project. I'll be using the two, and I guess that's all for now. Then to complete your cobweb fascinator, you'll be needing a few other things too. First, you need a measurement for your work. Number one, you need to determine how wide you want your fascinator brim to be, your cobweb fascinator rim to be. Like, if you want it to be very light, like very big, that will cover the face of the person at your back in church, you can actually do that. And if you want a medium size, you can actually do it. It does depend on you. So what you do is you take a measurement on your wire. So this is it. Now this, the one I have on my table here, I already cut it out to the size I want, but this is what you get in the market when you go to get it. This is what you get in the market. So this is how it's packed. So you lose it and you just straighten it out, then you measure the measurement you want. You can just take it around your head to see if it is big enough, if it is small enough, if you want to add more, like that. So you do that, then you cut it out using this. You cut it out, or if you can get another thing to cut it out. If you don't have a cutter, you can use a knife. Just make sure you have to keep eating till it breaks. So you do it that way. Then for the inside, you are going to cut out a smaller size. This is what I have here. You're going to cut out a smaller size so that it can fit in for what you want. I use 43 inches and 35 inches. Out of that 43 and 35, you're going to take out 1 inch for joining it together, since you are forming like a circle. So you're going to be taking 1 inch out to join it together. So you will be left with 42 inches for the main brim and 34 inches for the other one. You can decide to use my measurement, or you use some other measurements if you feel like. Just make sure you have, they are smaller to each other, or you can just use the difference between my own. I have like 8 inches different from this, is the biggest one, so I have like 8 inches difference from this one and the other ones. So you can also do that for your measurement. So then let's keep this aside. What you're going to do is just to join the mouth together. Just join the mouth together with a tape. This is what I did here already. As you can see, this is it. You want to bend the smaller ones to this shape. I hope you can see. Just okay, even if you can't see the ending, you can just see this point. You can see how pointed it is. So you want to bend your wire, the smaller ones, you want to bend it like that. Just bend it in halves like this. Make sure it's not like you bend it totally. Just make sure this end is like curved like this, and this end is like curved like that. So you want to have it like this. We cut out 4 pieces of this small one and just one of this bigger one. So the 34 inches is 4 pieces and that one is just 1 piece. So we just want to have something like this, just a big circle. Then we want something like this. I'm not going to be using the curves, I'm going to be using a straight line, like straight 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what we are trying to achieve. So this is how we are going to place all of those small wires so that we can achieve our cobweb fascinator. We have different types of cobweb fascinator, but this is the one we are going to be examining today. Then afterwards, we're going to be needing a small piece, like a straight piece also. I'm going to cut that out, but it depends on what we get after fixing this. So I'm not going to cut that yet. But mind you, we want to have our center empty. None of the metals should be running through the center. There's a way we are going to do it. By the time you start seeing me doing it, you get it. But before we do that, we want to wrap our wires around with our ribbon so that we can bring out the desired color. We want a silver one, so we are going to be wrapping it around with this silver strings or threads like that. So after doing that, we are going to start arranging it. So I'm going to start with the big one. I'm just going to add my glue, and when you are working with it, you have to be very careful. You don't want your hand to start staining it. So we start. I told you always to let it dry a little bit before you start working with it. So we just start by wrapping it around. You can cut out some so that you will not have issues while trying to wrap it round. You can always come back to cut another one later. So you just keep wrapping it round. If it is not gluing, it can give you a bit of issue. So you just wait and let it dry. Make sure it's gluing before you continue. So just keep wrapping it round it, and let it keep spreading. You want to keep wrapping it round it like that till you get to the end of this. You do that for all other wire that you cut out also. Then you come back to work. So here we are done with wrapping all of the pieces. Then we are going to be using this also. Just get any small flower that you can use and decorate. You can get something like, let's get started. Before we move into doing this, there are some, you'll be needing your marker or maybe a pen, anything that can shall write on this material. You'll be needing it. Then your gum mat. In order to put that together, we are going to be needing our thread, because at this point you cannot be using your paper tape anymore. So we're going to be needing a thread. So I already cut it out and I doubled it, something like this. Just make sure it's a matching thread. So you're going to cut out the circumference, the measurement of the circumference on a wire. You may cover this, you may not cover it. For me, I'm not covering it because it is going to be inside the head of a fascinator. The head is going to cover it up. So then you now check the measurement from the brim of the fascinator to from the head, like this, from the head of the cap, something like from this one. Place it in the middle. So you measure out the distance from here to the tip, like this, leaving like half an inch inside here. Half an inch. Just make it very small. It's not like you want it to be big or something like this. You can see how small, tiny it is. Just something as tiny as this. Just leave it at the tip to rest on the inner circle, on this small circle. So just place it like that, like this. Then that's how you get the measurement. So you cut like 4 of these, or you cut 3 depending on how you want it. But I want 4, so you cut 4 of it. This is the 4th one. Then you wrap it up like you did the first one. Then you are now going to, you can see this is firm. This is because I tied up some areas where we have this thing overlapping just in front of the base where you tied it. Tie the one that is up on it. The pieces you cut out, you're going to place it on top of that place you tied. I'm going to tie it up again like this. Just tightly get the time. So after tying it up like that, you tie it up to this inner circle again, the remaining piece. Just tie this place up again. I hope you are getting it. Tie this place up, make sure there is a space in between. So definitely we are coming here next. So you tie it up here, you tie it up to this inner circle. So we are done with all the tying. So you can see that the center one is in the middle and it's tied to this place. So then at this point here, check all the edges here. You don't want to have anything pointing out so that you don't injure yourself with it. So if you have anything like that, just cut them out.